Today on the Technology Guide, we're going to take a look at another Wyze product, this time the Wyze Cam V3. We're going to do an unboxing, installation, and setup, and a quick review.
Technology.
Thanks again for watching the Technology Guide. Please subscribe, like, share, and turn on those notifications. Let's take a look today at the Wyze Cam V3. This is a wired indoor-outdoor camera with an IP65 weather resistance rating, which means it should hold up to most outdoor environments, rain, things like that. This camera records in Full HD 1080p, supports 24/7 recording if you add an SD card, motion and sound detection, person notification, full-length motion recording with the Cam Plus subscription, and color night vision. So first, let's do the unboxing. I think all of my unboxings are going to be like this from now on. Let me know in the comments if you prefer this type of just quick unboxing, straight to the point, or if you like those slow, tedious, drawn out, show you every piece of paper kind of unboxings. Just let me know which one you like. In the box, you get the camera, a 6-foot USB cable, indoor power adapter, wall plate, mounting tape, mounting screws, and of course the quick start guide. So now, on to the setup. Okay, first thing you want to do, as with any Wyze product, first thing you have to do is make sure you've got the app, have it installed, which the app is available both at the Apple App Store and on Google Play. There's also a QR code for the app in the App Store in the Quick Start Guide. So once you've got that app downloaded, what you're going to do is you're just going to plug in the Wyze Cam. It takes about 20 seconds. You're going to have a red status light that's on the front of the camera that's going to be solid when you first plug it in. And then after 20 seconds, it's going to start blinking red. We'll go ahead and go into add a device, choose Wyze Cam V3. Go ahead and press the setup button.
Ready to connect.
And that's on the bottom of the camera. So once that's done, we've already heard ready to connect. Next.
Ready to connect.
The network is already set up. Scan the QR code with the camera.
QR code scanned. Please wait.
And that I usually have a lot more trouble scanning it than that. That time I held it about 4 inches off of the QR code and just scanned down.
Setup completed.
As you can see, it already is recognized by Alexa, as with everything Wyze that I've ever set up. This is going to be looking over the driveway from underneath the eave of the roof. So we're going to call it driveway. Not going to share now. And there we go. It's already showing. And as you'll see in a moment, it's going to do a firmware update. And we'll come back to it after that. So one thing that this had me do at the end of the setup is, as with anything that really I've installed from Wyze, is firmware update. And the only slight downside is it had to do 2 different firmware upgrades, which it would have been great if it just done it all at one time. So it took twice as long because it had to do them separately. So let's see, make sure it doesn't have a third one that it wants to do. So it says that it's done, but it isn't connecting. Just back out of here. So right now it looks like it's not connecting after the second firmware update. We'll just close the app for a minute here. Okay, so just closing the app and going back in got me back on the camera. So looks like it's working pretty well. So what we'll do now is go get the ladder out, and like I said, I'll show you where I'm going to install this and see how it turns out. For my install, I decided to put it where my existing camera is, which is a older Amcrest Wi-Fi camera, which I've got, as you can see, mounted on the brick wall underneath the eave with the wiring running through the soffit. So basically, I just removed the Amcrest camera from the mount, and the holes lined up, and I could actually, the little hole for mounting the Wyze Cam V3 directly to a wall, that actually lined up with the mount that was already attached. So for ease of installation, I just decided just to go ahead and put it in place there. Okay, so I have the camera installed under the eave, corner of the house, pointing down the driveway, and got it aimed where I want it. So just go in and take a look. So there you go. That's the view from the Wyze Cam V3. And did have to go in the attic and pull the wire for the power, but like I said, I already had a camera there. So as you saw in the photos, I just used the mount from the previous camera. That way I could just keep it right side up, and it just made my installation a little bit easier. Your installation may vary. So everything is set up and working. So now what I want to do is just go in and take a look at the settings. So you've got the motion tagging, which means it's going to draw a little box around what it sees. So we're going to turn on detection zone. So I'm going to put it at my garage. I'll go ahead and get the mailbox right there. So I'll be able to see coming and going out of the garage, anybody in the driveway, anybody pulling into the driveway, and it looks like probably the neighbor's driveway. So I'll move that down just a little bit. Now, the one thing about the motion zones is that's going to be what it triggers to actually save to Cam Plus. But since I have installed an SD card, then I'm going to have constant recording anyway. So if there's something that's missed in the motion detection or something that I want to see that's outside of the detection zone that I'm setting, then I can always go back and look at the playback on the SD card. Now, probably going to set this down to really low on the sound detection because it is going to be windy. And I'm assuming if I set that too high, it's going to pick that up. So we're going to just leave that turned down for now. And I will come back to this tonight and take a look at the night vision, the night recording, motion detection, all of that for nighttime. And I'll also do some motion detection for daytime. Okay, so here's one issue that I guess a little bit of research I would have seen for myself, and I don't really use the audio on my V2 camera that's indoors, so I haven't really tested it much, but apparently this is an issue with Wyze and the audio. When you view it on your phone, it's fine. But if you want to transfer that video file to a PC or share it or view it somewhere else, just like when I'm trying to edit this video, I noticed that there is no audio from the saved video files coming from the Wyze cameras. And this is something that they know. So if you take a look at this video clip where I'm trying to test the audio, there is no audio, but in their FAQs for all of their cameras, they say that you should download the VLC media player if you want to hear the audio in the clips that you save to a computer, which really this is something they need to fix. They say your computer doesn't have the appropriate audio codec that's needed to play the file, but they should be saving the audio in a format that is able to be used on most systems. So just take a look at this, and then I'll also show you what it actually sounds like. As you can see, there's no audio coming through the direct export, so this is what it's supposed to sound like. See if we can hear anything at all. So the camera's probably 12 feet above my head. About 20 feet from the camera. Probably can't really hear anything. So as you can see, I mean, there's not great audio quality anyways, and I really wasn't even planning on using the audio, but just wanted to give you a, a quick test just to see how the actual audio performed. And I mean, it's an outdoor environment. There's wind noise. It's like I said, it's about 12 feet above my head at that point, and then when I walk farther back from it, I'm 20, 25 feet away from it. So I didn't expect much out of it. But Wise doesn't at least need to make it easy to export those files to your PC or Mac and be able to actually listen to the audio on their cameras, not just this camera, but on their other cameras as well. Okay, let me jump in here for just 1 second. When we're talking about the audio, as I was finishing up this video and getting ready to upload it, I noticed as I was listening back to it that I actually am getting audio, but only through the videos that are captured using the motion detection. So I can export those into my library on my phone and then download it via Dropbox or whatever to my PC. And I'm getting video and audio through there. It's only when I press the record button when I'm in the app and it's not a motion triggered event, then I'm not getting any audio with that. So I just wanted to throw that in there to let you know what was really happening. So now that we've covered the audio issues, let's take a look at both daytime and nighttime recording and the motion detection just to see how well the camera does perform. And then I'll just come back and give you just a brief opinion on the cameras and we'll wrap this up. So as we're going through these little tests of the motion detection, the daytime ones are going to go by pretty quickly. It all seemed to work pretty well. The tracking seems to work well. No real issues during the daytime, and I'll talk more of this about more of this at the end of it. But again, daytime seemed to work quite well, both with person detection and with regular motion detection. As you will see when we get to the nighttime, though, I did have some more definitely mixed feelings about it. I was able to get notifications. They did seem to take a little bit longer than during daylight. And this one is with night vision off, which you'll see in the full video of it. The quality just isn't where I'd want to leave night vision off at night. Even though it did seem to show the colors pretty well, I just didn't really like the way that everything looked, and you can't make out any details on it. Now with night vision turned on, the notifications still seem to be a little bit slower than the daytime notifications, but the video quality was better and the tracking did seem to work better, as you can see as well. I mean, it was doing a pretty good job of tracking. Now here's where I started running into more of the issues. These are some false notifications, and this is from headlights reflecting off of my driveway. It actually gave me the notification for motion prior to the car coming into view for the camera. So as you can see, I mean, there's reflections on the garage, reflections on the driveway, and it's detecting motion for all of that. And on this one with the night vision turned on, you can see the little specks of whatever flying around, and that was actually triggering the motion. There's nothing else going on in the video, no other movement. So the only thing that it could possibly be is just whatever's flying around in the air. And you're going to see the same thing with this clip. There's just a little bit more going on as far as what's flying around, but it seems really, really sensitive to things like that. So that's again why the biggest issue that I was having. And now here's going to be the final example of you'll see the headlights, the shadows moving from a car coming, and it has captured that as motion. And as you saw where I drew the motion detection zone, there's no motion in those zones other than lights and shadows. So how did the Wyze Cam V3 do? I thought the video quality was pretty good. Definitely better than my previous camera that is 720p, which is what all of my previous cameras were. Daytime and nighttime were pretty well as expected. The low light performance without night vision turned on seemed better than expected when I was viewing it on my phone, but after transferring the files to the PC, they were pretty useless for making out any real details, being able to see a face or something like that. With night vision on, image quality was definitely better than my previous cameras, and I think while not great, it is definitely good enough for most uses. For image quality, if you're just looking for something, at price to performance, it really is good. Motion detection during daylight hours performed well. Throughout the day, I didn't get any false notifications, so I was pretty happy with that. I was pretty happy with, you know, daytime. However, as it started getting a little bit darker, false notifications also seemed to increase. Seems like I was getting motion notifications just from headlights hitting my garage doors or casting shadows. I've tried several different settings for the sensitivity, and I'm hoping I'm just going to have to find the right settings for my use. I also noticed some false notifications for what appeared to be insects or maybe just some dust or dirt or debris flying around in the air with the night vision mode turned on or off. Again, hopefully it will just take adjusting the settings to find that sweet spot for the amount of light that's in my neighborhood. And so overall, I'm pretty happy with the Wyze Cam V3. Not happy with the extra steps required to listen to audio if you want to transfer it to your computer. But like I've said, I doubt I would ever use that anyway. But regardless, Wyze needs to fix that. And going to need to make some adjustments for the motion detection. Another thing I wish Wyze would do is to let us make the motion detection zones a little bit more detailed, either using a grid layout or allowing a custom shape to be drawn for the motion zones. I do like the notifications that are sent to my Apple Watch. Get a little thumbnail of what motion is detected, and I think that is a really great feature. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and share. If you didn't, then go ahead and give me a thumbs down. I do have some more Wyze product videos coming up, including hopefully soon, but it may be into February, but hopefully soon the Wyze Watch. I like to see if that watch can stand up to my Apple Watch or if my Apple Watch is just going to completely destroy their $25 watch. It's supposed to integrate really well with the Wyze ecosystem, and hopefully it's going to show previews of motion detections like we get on Apple Watch. Thanks again for watching The Technology Guy. Please remember to subscribe and turn on those notifications, and I'll see you next time.